Awake my heart. Tear-blinded mourning. Tear-blinded mourning. But Mary stood without at sepulchre weeping. John 20:11. The incident is one of the most touching in the Gospels. To the perceiving eye, it is also full of spiritual lessons. See Mary's pathetic mourning. She was a woman for whom Christ had done great things. Having been forgiven much, she loved much. Her attachment was deep, womanly, constant, reverent. She ministered to him during his itinerating, lingered with him through his crucifixion, stayed to ascertain his tomb, and was the first there at his resurrection. It was she who found the stone rolled away, then ran to bring Peter and John. Observe her lingering after Peter and John had gone away. She was disturbed as to what had happened to that precious corpse. Meanwhile, she felt nearest to him just there, and could not tear herself away. How constant was her devotion, though how helpless it now seemed. How we should love him, who owe our eternal salvation to him. However much he had done for Mary, he has done far more for us. Notice again that as she lingered, she was weeping. Tears are sometimes more elegant than words. What cause she had to weep? She wept for a lost Savior. Ah, those who lose Christ have cause to weep. What is loss of money, loss of earthly comforts, loss of friends compared with that, of course? Had Mary only known it, she had not really lost him. That open sepulchre meant that he was coming back in a new way. Even so today, when we, who are the Lord's lovers, sometimes lose the sense of his presence, it is not that he has really left us. He has merely withdrawn the sense of his presence, that he may break upon our consciousness again with new brightness. Notice also that Mary was seeking. She stooped down and peered into this sepulchre. There she saw two angels, yet apparently she was not diverted in the least by surprise. What were angels compared with him? When once Jesus has been possessed by a human heart, none but he can satisfy. Mary, however, fell prey to erroneous supposing. She turned herself back and saw Jesus standing, but knew not that it was Jesus. Whether she turned because she saw the angels do obeisance, we do not know, but she turned and saw him, supposing him to be the gardener. How could she fail to recognize him? Had he not foretold his disciples that he would rise? Yes. Yet somehow the word had not sunk in. The seeming impossibility of it had cheated them. Had they only realized it, Jesus was speaking his biggest word through that awful cross and grave. As for Mary, she was so blinded by her grief that when he came, she failed to recognize him. Let us be quick to learn from this. Often through our biggest sorrow, Jesus speaks his loveliest word to us, but we can be so obsessed and self-blinded by our very tears that we do not recognize him. Let us wipe away the mist of doubtful supposings and see him really there. Amid and tear bedewed, dewed lilies of sorrow's garden, risen, ever present, sympathetic, never failing. Out of their deepest suffering, Job, Jacob, Jeremiah, Mary, and many others have made their supreme discovery of God. Thrice blessed are they whose spiritual vision sees Christ when he is least visible to the senses.